Hey everyone. So clearly I am not in New York anymore. My next couple of videos, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite LA galleries and sharing some of the most beautiful LA weather, starting with a very stereotypical LA destination, which is Rodeo Drive. We're going to visit Gagosian's gallery space, which is right off of Rodeo Drive. I feel like that's very on brand for him. He started his career in LA, and yeah, it makes sense that he would have this beautiful, beautiful exhibition space here that is absolutely massive. This is an exhibit of works by the German artist Albert Oehlen. And this exhibit is actually a continuation of his last exhibit, which was at Serpentine Gallery in London. I wish I could show you a video of that, but unfortunately it was before my YouTube channel started, so I will share a link to my blog post that I wrote about it down in the description box below. But the work in this exhibit is inspired by the Rothko Chapel in Houston, Texas. And the Rothko Chapel is an environment that really plays with the relationship between art and architecture, as well as spiritual and physical realms. Really encourage you to look it up online. It's gorgeous. In this exhibit, Oehlen creates these super large-scale works, similar in scale to the Rothkos in the chapel, that really become equal with the building that they're displayed in. It's all about the relationships between the art and the architecture. And honestly, there aren't many galleries that can support work of this size, so it's always a treat to see something at this kind of scale. It's also cool to see him incorporate some new materials like fabric into these works. He also experiments with things like charcoal instead of just paint, and I just feel like it adds an extra layer of visual interest. Another fun fact, if you're wondering what kind of price point that we're looking at here, the most one of his works has sold for at auction was $7.5 million. This was a record for him at a Sotheby's auction in London in 2019. So yeah, definitely works on the higher end for sure. The weather here, I can't even tell you. If you live in LA, you are so, so spoiled. This is just insane. Even though it has been a little strange getting used to driving places, we're going to visit about 3 galleries today, and it could take up to upwards of 3 hours versus in New York, I can see probably like 15 shows in that time period. So yeah, it definitely takes a little more time to drive around. Our next stop of the day is actually David Kordansky Gallery, which we see here. It's about a 20-minute drive from where we just were, and this space as well is massive. That is one thing about LA galleries, is they definitely have the luxury of a lot more space as opposed to a lot of New York galleries. And we're actually going to see 3 exhibits at David Kordansky, starting with this one by Sam Gilliam. And the exhibit is titled Moving West Again, which consists of new sort of bevel-edged paintings. And essentially what that means is that the edges of the paintings are sort of curved. And if you're familiar with Sam's work at all, I did show off one of his works as a part of my Crystal Bridges tour, which I'll link above. But he's known for these drape paintings, and these beveled edge paintings are similar in the sense that they have a sculptural quality, and they're a lot more dynamic than your traditional sort of flat stretched canvases in a few different ways. So not only are the sides curved, but he also adds additional texture to the works with this really thick white paint. And he gets the texture in this paint by adding things like sawdust shavings, pigment, flocking, and discarded fabric, just like various materials. The next exhibit are works by David Altmejd. And David is a Canadian artist who lives and works in New York, and he's known for creating these almost grotesque sculptures of heads. And I will warn you, as you walk through the exhibit, the more and more grotesque and creative these works become. And the show is titled The Enlightenment of the Witch. And through these works, David attempts to represent the inner and outer spaces of the human mind and body. He wants to simultaneously explore the relationship between the physical world and the human psyche in his works. So we actually had to leave David Kordansky and kind of walk through this outdoor gallery space in order to get to the final exhibit. And I love that they've utilized A, the nice weather, and B, this incredible outdoor space to include some more artworks for us to see. And I loved seeing these works in the far end of the garden area by Ruby Neri. Been such a big fan of her ceramic sculptures for a while. And these works can weigh up to 3,000 pounds a piece. Like, I can't even imagine the kiln that these were created in, but they're so fun and yeah, perfect addition to this outdoor space. And inside we have the final show that we're gonna see at David Kordansky, and it is a group show that really gives you a great overview of some of the artists that the gallery has as a part of their program. This is a cool work by Lauren Halsey. I honestly haven't seen one of her works up close and personal like this since David Kordansky's booth at Art Basel in Miami in 2019, so it's been a while, but awesome to see these in such detail. You can also immediately see on the far wall work by Mary Weatherford on the left and Shar Hughes on the right. I'll give you guys an up-close look at the Shar Hughes work. I apologize for the lighting in the gallery spaces. I'm not sure why it's coming across so dark, but just love her work. Two super impressive, powerful female artists here, so I love that they placed their works together. Here's the Mary Weatherford. Try to get a up-close of this one as well for you all. The exhibit continues in this room, and I spotted this work by Jennifer Guidi right away with her signature color and texture. And right across from the Jennifer Guidi is this work by Jonas Wood. Another work that really stood out to me in this room is by Sayer Gomez, this vending machine work here. So the last stop of the day and our final quote-unquote mega gallery visit, if you will, is to the Hauser Wirth compound. I didn't share a lot because honestly it was super shut down, and this was one of the few exhibits that I felt like it was worth sharing. But this is an incredible exhibit with 7 new paintings by Amy Sherald. And if you don't know much about Sherald, she's actually known for doing the official portrait of Michelle Obama. And in general, she's known for creating paintings of Black Americans at leisure And this is actually such an important topic for her to create works on, because for so long, Black men, women, and families were excluded from this narrative of the American experience. So she's really making up for lost time here. And the exhibit is titled The Great American Fact. And this also is her first West Coast exhibit, which is kind of crazy to me. And the title comes from the 1892 book by educator Anna Julia Cooper. And Amy uses this book as a framework for considering quote-unquote public Blackness, which is the way that Black American identity is shaped in the public realm. I hope you all enjoyed hanging out in LA with me. My next video is also going to be a continuation of some art galleries in the Arts District in downtown LA, as well as in West Hollywood. So please subscribe and stay tuned for that video. I'll see you guys next time.